say that's black and white. Okay, the information there is black and white. When I first joined the auxiliary, I had someone who'd been in the auxiliary for quite a while tell me, Pat, and when I was becoming a staff officer for fiscal exams or whatever it was, he said to me, Pat, I'm going to tell you something. Keep this with you forever. If in the auxiliary you don't see it, black and white, don't take it out of here. Don't take it off of there. Don't make something up. If you don't know the answer, tell your flotilla commander, or tell your, not really, tell the members that have asked you. I will find out for you. Don't tell them something that might not be true, because you could get them into trouble. Ready, Harry, go ahead.
Well, I'm Harry Trainer. Most of you know me. I think maybe all of you know me. But anyway, we're going to talk about the Flotilla Commander timeline. This started right after you got elected. We're going to talk about the tasks that we need to ensure a smooth transition from the outgoing flotilla commander and vice commander with the incoming flotilla commander and vice commander. It also helps you to have a successful term in office. You're going to be real busy for the next 3 months, and you don't need to be trying to catch up on stuff that should have been done by the outgoing flotilla commander, because there are duties that the outgoing flotilla commander has, even though he's outgoing. We're going to cover the month-by-month review of key activities. We're going to cover the key dates for critical activities, and then we have recurring activities. Oh, there's October. In October, they finalized a plan for the elections, and you developed the plans for the change of watch. This is your outgoing commander. And you submitted requests for disenrollment by December this says, and granted, this is taken from a manual that has been printed in 1999. Just recently, HCR DIROC said, we want you to submit your letters of disenrollment on or after December the 15th, mainly because they're going to close the silver ore data entry date on December the 15th because of some problems that was having with people losing qualifications by having people removed before the silver ore closed out its information. So you submit your request to the what is going to be Chuck this year, and it's on the 15th of December, and he's going to submit it to the well, you submit it to him and to the DSOHR, which I think is Stanford Smith, and that way they both have it on the 15th of December, and it's ANSI form 7035. Here's a copy of it. You will have to, before you submit it to the division commander and the DSOHR, you'll have to have the sections filled out. Section 1 is for the flotilla commander. Sections 2 to be completed by the member, and that's the flotilla commander. This is the, to be completed by the member, and you'll probably have to work with him. And then section 3, to be completed the flotilla commander, and then the DSOHR completes this part, and then DIROC completes the final part. And, if you start your dues collection process, and you say, okay, and they're talking about November the 15th, you could set it in your flotilla, look at your standing rules to see if they have a date set to start this process with the member. If they don't, the flotilla can vote to start it on November the 1st. You go through the first 2 steps, the 3rd step, and then hopefully by the December the 15th, you're ready to send it to the DSOHR and to the division commander.
What was the number on that form?
7035. In November, the flotilla, or by the end of November, the flotilla election should be completed. In Division 6, they're usually completed by the end of October. And you want to firm up your change of watch plans. We have some flotillas that get together and do a change of watch, one large one. We have other flotillas that do individual ones. It's up to the flotillas to set up how they want that. You want to start appointing your staff officers as soon as you can, because no later than the 20th of December, you need to have completed ANSC form 7007. That form is going to be sent to the division commander. It's going to be sent, and he'll forward it on to the Commodore, and you're also going to submit it to DIROCS. That's the first form. The second form, which is, it's still your staff officers that you've appointed, but it's for the district directory. The template for the district directory is under revision. Hopefully they will get it out before December the 20th. But if they don't, you probably don't have to worry about it. But it's a different form from the 7007, and they're probably going to tell us to send it to either the district commodore, or the district commodore will have a representative that's putting that directory together. In the past, it's been Debbie Pale down in Corpus, and he just had to send it directly to her. Don't really know after the revision. Okay, Chuck?
Yeah, just a quick comment on that. It's very hard for a district to get the district directory out until we have the 7007s and the format of the information for the district directory. So that's one of the things we always come across at the end of every year, is making sure, and it's really going to be you people here in this room, the elects, that need to make sure the correct information is forwarded up. But for Debbie to put all this information out, we've got to have it in time. So you understand, this is really time-sensitive stuff.
Well, does she
Every
still
year
have
they
her
yell.
own form that we fill out?
Yeah, they all still do, and I don't know what they're gonna do with it. We've always kind of wondered why,
Okay.
but it's just one of the things we have to go through every year to make sure the district gets the correct information. It's one of the time-critical elements, and it seems to always be one of the things that division commanders always end up having to go chase. Between the 7007s and the 7025 forms I'm here, we'll be talking about, those are the two biggest things that'll be giving you headaches, like short-term.
The third thing that you want to do is appoint your National Safe Boating Week chairperson. Once you do that, and you report it. The, coming up, is usually the third week in May is when National Safe Voting Week is. They will start feeding stuff down to your National Safe Voting Week chairperson from national, as it gets closer to the actual date. That takes a little bit of the workload off of you, because now you've got somebody that's handling that for you. This is ANSI 7007. It's the annual unit officers report. If you email it, you can only put their name and not their ID, or their ID and not their name. That's what came out yesterday. If you snail mail it, you can put both. Over here, if you look at office, you're either gonna be doing the FLOTILLA side coming down here, or the division side, which Pat has done coming down here. So check the right place or wherever. And then any remarks that you want to put, and then you'll date it and sign it, and it's done. Look at your standing rules. I think the standing rules in some cases say that the audit committee will meet in January of each year to audit the books. Right here, they're saying in November, you're gonna receive an audit committee report. Well, depending on your standing rules, they can say that you're gonna receive it in January or December. But you do need to get, and probably your FLOTILLA commander outgoing has already set up audit committee. If it's gonna be done in this year, if it's gonna be done in January, you need to set the audit committee. Because by January the 31st, a financial report needs to go, excuse me, go to DIROS and division commander. You want to have a planning board meeting and FLOTILLA staff officer training. This is something, and Pat mentioned this earlier, and I want to bring it up again. This is going to be a work in progress. It's not something that we can do overnight. We can't snap our fingers and make it happen that fast. However, when you're doing these, not necessarily the planning board meeting, that your business is your business, but the FLOTILLA staff officer training, if you would like to have input, help, assistance, whatever you want to call it, from the division staff officers or the division elected officers, let us know. Depending on scheduling and everything, we'll do our very best to help you there. But we really want to see our staff officers well-trained, so that it's not hard but easy for them to do their job, so that it's not work but it's fun for them to do their job, and so that they enjoy doing their job, so that, you know, if you don't get the training and you don't know what to do, it's gonna, some people they can't sleep, they have anxieties. Well, in this case, you know, we don't want that to happen. And I said it last night at the Thursday luncheons that we have had in the past. I've said it, you know, when it's not fun anymore, you just don't want to do it. So let's let's try, and if we're well-trained in what we're doing, it's, you know, you're not worried about what do I do next, or how do I do this, you know, you're trained, it's gonna come more natural, and you're gonna have more fun. And that's just my point of view, but, you know, that's what Pat and I wanna try to do, next year. I mean, Chuck has done a very good job of all the things that he's done, and I'm proud in all the directions that he's moved us. And we're gonna go back and work on some staff officer training issues at the division and at the flotilla level, and help y'all, because, you know, if it helps y'all, it helps the members, it helps us, it helps everybody. We're continuing on, in your flotilla procedures manual, there are sample letters for each staff office. You can prepare those letters and for appointment of the new staff. If you want to appoint a fellowship committee or an audit committee or a budget committee, you know, any kind of committee, if you want to do a little letter to give them something, so to recognize, so that they're on that committee, you can do that. There's not really any sample letters for that. Last year, Pat just basically used the letters in the division procedures guide for each staff officer. And she sat down with us, and, you know, we made eye contact, we went through it, said, this is what the letter says, this is what I expect you to do, can you do this, if you're having problems with doing this, and you think you're having a problem, do not get yourself in a corner, come to me, come to us, we can help you, we can get things moving again, or, you know, if you're doing a great job, just don't run off and leave us, you know. It's all kinds of issues will come up, and as the leaders in your flotilla, you know, these are the people that we want to nurture and work with.
Now, on those, when you open, and maybe you have looked at them, I don't know if you've opened them up and looked at them inside the manual. Some of them go on forever. I mean, there's a lot that it says that a staff officer should do. What I did last year was, I took them, I read them, the IS, by the way, John. I read them and bring them up to date, and take anything off of them that you don't think. The first half of them, they say this is really what you should leave on there. Then there's some extra stuff. Don't put that extra stuff on. And give it to the staff officer what you think that staff officer is going to be able to handle. When you look at them, there's a lot. And some staff officers will say, I don't have time to do all that. Well, eliminate that extra stuff. Take it off, adjust it.
Another note, we've had flotillas that had shadows with their staff officers. They've called them assistants, they've called them different things, but plan for the future, because at some point in time, your staff officer may be sick, they may move, you know, you don't want to be caught, you want to be semper paratus, you want to be able to have someone that you can move into that job, and they might not be 100% up to speed, but 25% up to speed is better than 0% up to speed. So, you know, just think about those things. An outline of your FSO duties, that's pretty much in the letters you're gonna give them. Plan and distribute a calendar for the year. You might go say, Jack, my ops officer, I want you to come up with a schedule of you know, what day of the month we're gonna have a boat on the water, what day of the month are we gonna have planes in the air. You put it on the calendar. I mean, there's nothing more energizing than for your members to look and see this calendar and say, oh, we got some people really out there working, I need to get out there and help them. You know, you know what I mean. This is this is what you can do, with your calendar. Pat is working on a calendar, and we should have it out pretty soon. We're really gonna try to practice what we preach. So you should see our calendar in the near future. Attend the FCA, that's covered. Talk to your members. You might want a survey committee and say, okay, Tom Simons, you take A through C, and go talk to all those members, see what they want to do. Or however you want to do it. Janet Lackman one year took her vice commander, and they went, and it took them forever because they had like 30 members, but they went and visited every member. And they said, you know, what do you want to see our flotilla do? And some of them said, I'm not coming to any meetings, I'm not active, y'all do what you want to. But other ones said, you know, we would really like to see a little bit more training, or we would like to see a little bit more of this. Well, she couldn't do everything everybody wanted, but she got the majority of it in. You need to check on the status of the dues that have not been paid, and send a change of membership status to delinquent members, which is the disenrollment letter that I showed a while ago. Okay, you should have had, all of what we just talked about should have been done, should be finished before the end of November. I mean, we're telling you this today, and I say that in jest, but, you know, you're gonna be lucky if you're still gonna be doing some of this in March, just because of the fact that some of it is never gonna be finished. It's a kind of an ongoing process. In December, you wanna make sure that your IS officers got all your stuff in by December the 15th, so your silver ore gets credited for everything you've done. You need to do a inventory of any equipment the flotilla has, and that will be on ANSI 7025.
And that gets sent in with the financials, correct?
No, the inventory gets sent to the division commander. This is not easy. It doesn't, not all of it goes to the same place. You want to distribute your calendar to your staff officers, have them review it. Then you can send it to the members. Make up a directory of your flotilla members. And then your division board and staff and Coast Guard station. We really don't have that. I mean, what people are doing now is having a flotilla directory, but for the most part, they go into the Hawks directory to find out about the division board or members in other flotillas. It's a real easy go-to thing. Coast Guard stations, what I do when I need something, I contact the sector liaison, which is and I guess is still going to be Gary Schroeder. He's been here 37 years, and he knows everybody, even the ones that have left 20 years ago, so he's your go-to guy on that, and he's very good. Just shoot him an email, and unless he's deathly ill, he'll get back to you pretty quick. Plan your flotilla meetings, and Pat went over that earlier. Okay, here's your ANSI 25. This is the financial report of an auxiliary unit.
I'm gonna get this out. Are you gonna cover this?
Well, I'm gonna,
Do you want,
Pat's gonna pass the form out, but you've got your beginning balance and your cash reserve. Well, Tom Simons is going over this in detail later on, isn't he?
if Tom gets here, yeah?
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
If Tom doesn't